So my last area, which was in the Sviatoshinsky region of Kyiv, was a very different experience than I had had the rest of my mission, just because my first two areas were in small towns, small branches, lots of farmland, countryside, villages. But this last area was something completely new for me because I was serving in a ward, not a branch, so there were many strong members of the church that were leaders that had a lot of experience in the church, and I was living in an apartment building right on the metro stop, so it was just a busy area. And let's see, it was close to the temple, which was great, so we had a lot of the members were very faithful in their temple attendance. They loved the temple. They considered themselves lucky and blessed to be living just down the street from the temple, whereas others have to travel hours. So these people who had been members for a long time used to travel to I think it's the Freiburg, Germany temple, or I think there was a temple in Finland that they would go to, the Helsinki, Finland temple. And so when the temple was announced, and I think it was dedicated in 2010, it meant the world to them that they were able to live so close to the temple. Restaurants wise, all the missionaries love this restaurant called Puzata Chata, and I think it literally means like fat house or something, and it's basically just a Ukrainian cafeteria type thing. So they have all the classic Ukrainian foods, which I fell in love with on my mission. And so yeah, all the missionaries love Puzata Chata. Kyiv itself has a lot of tourist attractions, so there a lot of missionaries would do souvenir shopping on the Andreevsky Spusk, and it's a really beautiful church, and then there's sort of a downward sloping street where there are lots of souvenir vendors that sell the matryoshka dolls. They sell like embroidered Ukrainian shirts called vyshivanki, and Ukrainian t-shirts, the classic fur hats that everyone wears in Ukraine and Russia. So a lot of missionaries would go there. There are a lot of really awesome museums in the area of Kyiv. Outside of Kyiv, not far from the temple, there's a museum called Pirogova where they have all of these old style Ukrainian huts, and you can wander around there and see sort of exhibits about Ukrainian architecture. So Kyiv was a super interesting city, so I was very lucky to serve there at the end and be able to appreciate all of that before I left. Ukraine as a country is definitely cheaper than America, so just the exchange rate is, I think when I started my mission, it was, so the money in Ukraine is the hryvnia. And when I started my mission, it was about 8 hryvnia to $1. And when I ended my mission, it was around 25 hryvnia to the dollar. So everything got a lot cheaper on the dollar. And transportation is pretty cheap. Food was pretty cheap in comparison with American dollars. We traveled on the metro and on little buses, which are called marshrutki. And so those take you pretty much anywhere you need to, and then the rest of it is walking. So we didn't have cars, but they have very good public transportation, meaning it gets you where you need to go, and it comes often. I personally never felt unsafe on my mission. There were definitely times during the Maidan incident when things were heating up politically when I was on my mission, when we were told to stay inside, but that was sort of unique. But other than that, I never felt unsafe on my mission. I always felt like we had the Spirit with us, and we were careful, and we were careful about who we talked to, but I felt protected, and I felt safe speaking with the people anywhere I went.